12 seconds to a stunning knockout, a mathematically improbable submission finish, a massive betting upset that completely shattered expectations. The UFC Apex in Las Vegas serves as a proving ground for the sport's rising talent. It's the building where regional fighters step into the cage with a life-changing UFC contract hanging in the balance. But Episode 2 of Dana White's Contender Series delivered an anomaly. 6 different fighters walked out of that building with contracts in a single evening. This specific night broke the standard logic of fight sports. The results showed that when technical preparation meets a total refusal to lose, the expected script of a fight card can be rewritten entirely. This chart shows the disparity in win probability for Trent Miller. He was a 5-to-1 underdog, implying a narrow path to victory. But when Miller survived an early choke and secured a dominant position, he flipped those probabilities in real time. He capitalized on his opponent's trapped arm, dropping his hip and applying heavy shoulder pressure to secure a rare Von Flue choke. In the history of this show, it was only the second time a fighter finished a match with that specific submission. That result defied the betting lines, and Alec Lorenz followed suit, entering his bout as a 4-to-1 underdog against a heavily favored opponent. Lorenz won through tactical awareness. As his opponent threw a short right hand across his body, Lorenz slipped his head left and fired an overhand right. That single counter maintained his perfect record of finishing every professional win by knockout. Betting algorithms weigh historical data to set the odds, but Miller and Lorenz highlight the specific human variables, adaptability and fight IQ, that can make those predictions look irrelevant once the cage door closes. Composure often beats raw aggression. Christian Perez faced a brawler who threw heavy hammers, but Perez stayed patient, planting his feet to land a counter left hook that effectively took the fight out of his opponent. That set the stage for the main event, where Kaiki Bratu faced a 2-time regional champion with significant momentum. 12 seconds into the third round, his opponent launched a flying knee. Bratu countered by stepping into an overhand right, his weight fully loaded on his lead leg. They call this a shape-shifting chop. Stepping deep and rotating his torso, Bratu generated maximum leverage, landing a clean strike directly on the chin. At this level, these knockouts aren't just lucky swings. They come from recognizing a split-second opening and using body weight and positioning to exploit it. While the finishes were surgical, Roman Gabriel Puga and Tanner Tremblay engaged in a grueling 15-minute war. This chart tracks the volume of strikes landed minute by minute, showing a relentless upward climb. The two men combined for over 300 landed strikes, with the output spiking drastically as they traded heavy shots in the final round. Puga focused on a strategic body attack. He used heavy right hands and hooks to the midsection, designed to drain Tremblay's gas tank over time. But Tremblay showed terrifying resilience. Despite the heavy damage to his body, he surged back in the final seconds of every round, fighting like a man possessed even as his energy appeared to fail. Viral knockouts capture the headlines, but surviving 15 minutes of high-volume damage acts as a definitive test of a fighter's will to stay in the fight. The action in the cage concludes, and the focus shifts to the broadcast desk for the final judgment. For the UFC president, awarding contracts to Bratu, Miller, Perez, and Lorenz was expected after their finishes. The promotion is already moving quickly on Christian Perez, with plans to potentially place him on the upcoming Noche UFC card. The physical toll of the Puga and Tremblay fight was so high that both men were sent immediately to the hospital, just as Puga was confirmed as the winner by unanimous decision. Then came the final surprise of the broadcast. UFC matchmaker Sean Shelby stepped in to insist that Tremblay, despite the loss, also receive a contract for the toughness he displayed over 3 rounds. In the ecosystem of the UFC, winning is the goal, but demonstrating a willingness to engage in high-level violence is what moves the needle. On this Tuesday, that willingness changed 6 lives.